So previously, we mastered how to dilate a figure inside a coordinate plane when that figure was centered at the origin. However, in this problem, it says triangle ABC and the point D are graphed, and it says that D is the center of it. It says graph A prime, B prime, C prime, the image of ABCD, so it's dilated where it's centered at point D. So instead of the center of the dilation being the origin, now the center of the dilation is point D. There's a lot of ways you can find people on YouTube talking about how to finish this, but I suggest you do it this way. I'm going to write point D as a coordinate. That coordinate is, from the origin, is over 1 up 2. So that coordinate is 1, 2. So to actually dilate it, I'm going to rewrite D as, I got to go back down 2, left 1. So I'm going to take away 1, take away 2, to put D at 0, 0. Because I did that to D, I got to take away 1, and I got to take away 2 from all the coordinates of A, B, C, D. So what I mean is, coordinate A is currently at left 2 up 1, so negative 2, positive 1. And then coordinate B is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's at over 0 up 5. C is at 4, negative 1. So since I want D to be at 0, 0, not at 1, 2. Because if I try to dilate it right now, it didn't really work the way you want because it's not centered at the origin. Since I had to take away 1 and subtract 2 from all the coordinates of D to come up with this new D, I got to do all that. I got to do that to each of the coordinates here. I'm going to subtract 1, subtract 1, subtract 1, subtract 2 from all the Y's, subtract 2, subtract 2, subtract 2. I'm going to come up with new coordinates. So I'm going to call A instead. I'm going to call A to be at, change the color of it too. So A would be at negative 3, negative 1. B would be at negative 1 and 3. And then C will be at positive 3, negative 3. So I'm going to rewrite that. I got more space. Yeah, so I'll rewrite it down here. Now that I rewrote it, remember our scale factor was 2. So now I can just multiply all those coordinates by 2. So this becomes negative 6, negative 2, positive 6. And then the other coordinates become negative 2, positive 6, negative 6. So these are new coordinates. Now, because I kind of cheated by subtracting 1 and subtracting 2 from each of the X and Y coordinates, I got to go back in reverse. I got to add those coordinates back now. So we'll go back and do the opposite what I did again. I'm going to add 1 to all the X coordinates. I'm going to add back the 2 to all the X coordinates. So the true and the proper A prime, B prime, and C prime will be at negative 5, 0, and then negative 1, 8, then positive 7, negative 4. So when I plot them, they should have the proper center, and they should be now dilated by a scale factor of 2. So if I check that out, A is at negative 5, 0. So that means go over, start at the origin, go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0. This is A prime. B should be at negative 1, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This would be B prime. And C prime is at 7, negative 4, 3, 4. This would be C prime. That's the letter C. Now, when I connect those dots, I should see that the center is in the proper place, and all the sides are twice as long as the previous one. If I measure them out, I use a distance formula, or actually I use right triangles to figure out the length for all those slanted sides. They should be twice the previous one. But if I want to check to see if it's dilated properly, I should be able to connect A and A prime, B and B prime, C and C prime to see that they meet at the coordinate that we call the center. So if I actually checked that out and made sure that it really was dilated properly, if I connected A and A prime with a straight line, it goes through D. If I connect the B and B prime with a straight line, it also goes through D. Connect the C and C prime with a straight line, also goes through D. So that's how I would dilate it if the center is not at the origin. The other ways of doing it too, I like that the most, simply because it's more algebra, right? So the rule was simply take whatever the new center is, subtract it back to the origin, so do the opposite of whatever it says here. Then do that to all the coordinates of the original points of the pre-image. And then after you do that, then dilate it by whatever the scale factor is. And then whatever you did to bring the center back to the origin, reverse it back. Like whatever the center was, like the center here was +1, +2, you just add +1, +2 back to all the coordinates you found. And then that's going to give you the true values of the image. All right, that's all I have. Good luck.